Okay, so apparently Twitch crapped out on me yet again. After I had been streaming for about 20 minutes. It's a good thing I check my feed every now and then to make sure I am actually live. Initially I got discouraged and decided to, you know what, fuck it, let's try again tomorrow. But then I was like, you know what, I've put aside the whole evening for this. And I'd actually been looking really forward to cracking another chapter tonight. So third time's a charm. Let's see if it works this time. So where we last left off, I was about to check this other room that I hadn't been to yet. You can look down at the shop from here. So to those of you still watching, thanks for sticking with me. I really don't know why I'm having so much trouble tonight. There's nothing of interest. You know, unless you're into fabric. Pretty kimono hangs on the rack. And despite what you may be led to believe with all these boxes, there is nothing of further interest in here. She sure does have a lot of clocks though, as Yuri has already pointed out. Small potted plantain lily sits on top of a low dresser. Now, let's go back in here. Hisoka's room. She really likes the traditional Japanese style. Lost item case files. A folder reading lost items sits on the desk. Looks like it's bound by string. These seem to be notes on Hisoka's shadow reading cases. Missing item, diary, token, photo of the deceased, details, locate mother's diary. Client seeks info on their late mother, relates to a deceased individual, apply caution. Result, the caretaker of the deceased had burned the diary at her request. Missing item, storeroom key, token, photo of the deceased, details, locate storeroom key, item may already be lost, token on item belong to deceased, apply caution. Results, item located, had been hidden by client's parent, returned to the client. Missing item, diamond ring. Token, rings box. Details, client seeks lost engagement ring, requested fiancé not to be notified. Date of wedding soon approaching. Result, found on client's desk. Was in an obvious place, but somehow eluded the client. So you can just make her look for anything, even things that where you just haven't searched properly. Like, where did I put my pen? Hisoka, can you help me? And then of course, and this is the only one that has a known client. Ren Hojo, missing item, album of postmortem photographs. Token, postmortem photograph details, reference material for a book about traditional practice in Mount Hikami area. Bad location but minimal danger anticipated. Client is an acquaintance. Result, found an old building of abandoned inn. Shadow attempted to drag Yuri toward the netherworld. Should have gone alone. Must warn Yuri to stay away from the mountain. And that is of course events related to the first chapter, where we almost got dragged to our doom. The art of shadow reading. There is a book next to the files entitled The Art of Shadow Reading. Shadow reading is the ability to read traces of the past, not unlike the ability commonly known as psychometry. By following these traces, it is possible to find things that have gone missing or which were no longer visible, things that are demonstrably there but for reasons unknown are all but invisible. So things that are there but your brain tricks you to not see it? Things the owner wished to be forgotten, things whose owners have passed away, things that no longer wish to be seen, things drawn partway into the netherworld, invisible within our own. Such items can be called back to the world of the living. Unlike these objects, however, people who have been spirited away must not be chased after lightly. In many such cases, they have been taken by creatures of the netherworld, who linger nearby. Utmost caution must always be applied. Letter from Fuyuhi. I always did like these, Japanese-style envelopes. An open envelope has been left on the desk. The sender's name reads Fuyuhi Himino. This must be Fuyuhi's missing person request. Maybe it could provide some clues as to where Hisoka and Fuyuhi went. Dear Miss Kurosawa, please find Haruka. She went missing over a week ago. You do still take on missing person cases, don't you? I've contacted the police, but they are no help. They say she was probably spirited away. Haruka wouldn't have gone anywhere without telling me. I'm certain something bad has happened. I can handle my own grief, but I can't stand the thought of her suffering somewhere. What if she's waiting for me to find her? I'm worried sick. Haruka is still alive, I know it, but something has to be done, and quick. Remember when you found that precious picture of me and Haruka? I was so happy to have it. Now I need your help once again. You know, these friendships between girls in these games come off as kind of creepy. I mean, it's a horror game, I know that's how it's supposed to be, but these friendships come down to being downright obsessions, like, I can't stand that this person has gone somewhere without me. Two schoolgirls. There was a photograph with the letter. It shows Fuyuhi looking shy and another girl, they look close.
Hisoka. She must have gone to Mount Hikami to look for this girl. Mount Hikami.
The sun is setting.
A place where many come to take their lives. I'm positive that Fuyuhi must have come here.
And again, I accidentally pushed the button for some reason, because I always have a problem with this button being too sensitive on the PS5. So I accidentally, and no big deal, I'm aware, but the picture that was just on screen, where I think it said maybe this picture will find the two girls, and apparently I accidentally clicked it away with. No, seriously. When I push these two buttons, I can clearly feel a difference between this one, where, see, just a light tap makes it react, whereas this button, which makes you run, I have to press it down all the way before it does something. And Initially, I thought it was because of a broken spring, so I took it to a repair guy who repaired it. But it's still very loose, and I don't remember if it was always like that. Because it annoys the crap out of me. I wanna go this way. Fuyuhi didn't come this way. Her trace should lead me to her. This looks like a broken Shinto gate or something. To pool of purification. Processing. I know it's a nitpick, but the Wii U version, when it loaded, said something else than processing, and for some reason I find the word processing, I don't like it. My God. That's one thing I've always loved about these games, the atmosphere. This game is bathed in atmosphere. The road has collapsed and the stone stairs are cut off. It must have been the landslide. The old road seems to carry on up the edge of the cliff. Where? Is it just me, or was something blinking up there? Something is blinking up there. I thought I was crazy for a second. Okay, looks like we're taking a shortcut through the woods. Water flowing from the rocks has pooled here, forming a small pond. There's something on the ground. Sometimes a ghost hand will appear when you try to reach for an object. Release R2 at the right moment to dodge it. And that's what the game tells about it now, but this is what I was talking about in yesterday's session, that sometimes ghost hands will reach out for you, but if you release at the right moment, you avoid getting caught. And because this is the first time the game tells you about it, a ghost hand almost always comes out when you try to reach that particular thing, and I was prepared for that. If you do get grabbed, use L and R to break the hold on you. But I also happen to know that they will never try to grab you for the same item 2 times. So if they have already tried once with this map, for example, they won't do it again. Mount Hikami brochure. A tourist brochure? I wonder if Fuyuhi dropped it. If so, it's incredibly lucky that she didn't drop it in the water. It has a map of the mountain. See, I accidentally did it again because my finger was resting on this button and I accidentally pressed it. This could be very useful. So this is the way from the pool of purification to the unfathomable forest. Got it. From main menu, press Press square and then X on the map. Let me take a look at that map again. Can't I? And here we have our cutscenes. And this is one of the things I dislike about this game, because all previous games in the series have been have had save slots, but in this game you have one save file where you can then replay all the chapters of the game. So if you have a friend who wants to play the game from scratch, but you don't want to lose all of your progress, all of your collection and tokens and stuff like that, they have to just reload one of your old chapters. I mean, it's kind of like the Ace Attorney games, where there isn't where there aren't save. Yeah, don't they have save files? I know that Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice has save files, but this game doesn't. It requires you to just load the game and then select a chapter, and for some godforsaken reason you have to go all the way into the game, like I am now, before you can rewatch the cutscenes, and I don't understand that at all. I wanted to take a look at the brochure. Why can't I take a look at the brochure? You don't have a camera. No shit. Ah, there we go. I mean, when you accidentally dismiss the information all the time because you have a light trigger finger, you can't really blame me for not knowing what buttons to push, although I guess I should be more aware of the buttons presented in the bottom right corner. Anyway, we have Kurosawa Antiques here. No, wait. Kurosawa's and so that's so we can okay, so if we click that we can see the map for her antiques, but her antique store is somewhere down here. We have the bridge that we crossed, the inn that has been run to shit, the Shinzo gate that had fallen down, and then there was this road to places unknown, Mikomori Station. So we have this railroad that goes from the bottom of the mountain to the top. Various stops on the way. Right now we are here, and this Shrine of Dolls is where Mio got spirited away in the prologue chapter. No, wait, that's this one. And then, of course, we haven't been to the summit yet. Right. Now we can move on. And of course I could just run, because as any other Like any other Project Zero protagonist, Yuri walks like she has lead in her pants, but I'm not just playing for me right now, I'm also playing for you guys and to, you know, add to the, not the drama, but add to the atmosphere. The waterfall is beautiful as it flows down. A lot of people probably came to see this back when the mountain was a tourist destination. I love this shot of Yuri behind the waterfall, and I mean, I love this game and its atmosphere in general. What can I say? I mean, that's one of the reasons it's my favorite horror franchise of all time. I mean, I literally screamed when the remaster for this game was announced, but also when the coming remaster of the fourth game was announced. Project Zero is one of the few franchises that can make me giggle like not even giggle like a schoolgirl, but actually sit in front of my screen of my monitor and scream my lungs out. The only other franchise that can do that is Kingdom Hearts. An old stone monument has been set in the rocky hollow. It's covered in moss, so I can't tell if there's anything written on it. It must be a memorial for those who lost their lives in the landslide. Must be, could be. And we have something here. There's something under the waterfall. I mean, they do say that there's always something behind a waterfall in any game, and I guess technically this is behind the waterfall. You got purifying embers, coals that light the forbidden flame. They dry you and remove the taint of the black water. The wetness gauge to the lower right of the screen will light up when you come in contact with water. If you get drenched, you'll become an easy target for malevolent spirits. Use purifying embers to dry yourself off. And like I've already explained, you get wet all the time in this game, so right now you can see the meter is almost full and Yuri looks like she's completely wet. But there is no point in using purifying embers to dry her up, because she'll just get wet again almost immediately. So I only use purifying embers when she gets what the game calls tainted, and you're not in doubt when that happens. Did you hear something? Got herbal medicine ×2. Pills made from a myriad of herbs. Consuming them will restore some health. And we had someone who didn't win the lottery. I mean, why else would you jump off a cliff? The road is buried under earth and rock. Grass and trees jut out from amongst it. It must have collapsed a long time ago. And her wetness is fading a bit. Is that something they patched for this version? Because I don't seem to recall that it went that quickly away in the original. What was that? I actually don't think I've ever seen that scene before, because I always just walk down through this path. I never really stopped up to look here. I think love these controls. More purifying embers. Nothing to say here. These rocks stop the flow of the water. This must have been a river before the landslide. And for some reason her wetness decreases even though I'm literally treading through water. That is some... I don't know what those clothes are made of, but they dry really god dang fast. There's something in the water. Do I wanna know? Okay, completely submerged in water. What's the... Unless this is a goddamn magical camera, and I mean you can argue that it is, how would it survive that? That's another thing you will also notice if you're a veteran of this game, that or this series, that the camera obscura changes appearance in every game, and it's not like it's the same camera that just changes appearance, but apparently because this guy who invented it, Mr. Aso, I don't remember his last name, but he invented the camera, and apparently he made several of them that then entered circulation and in various ways, and came into the hands of antiques collectors and fans of the obscure, and so there are many camera obscuras in circulation, not just the one that Miku got in the first game, or any of the others for that matter. Hisoka's camera obscura? What's it doing here? Type 14 film, and we got 24 of those. And again, I promised that I wouldn't restart from the last checkpoint over and over if I miss any secret ghosts. But I will try to get the best rank possible. Like I explained, that if you refrain from using your better films, even Type 14 film, if you only use the worst film that you have, the old Type 7 film, you get a better rank because you get points for every item held. Made in what? Germany? Old film. It is not effective at exorcising ghosts, and it takes a long time to load. Stun lens. You got the stun lens, a lens that forcibly staggers the photographed subject. And I never really use these lenses. I always forget that I have them, and when I use them I don't really feel that they have an effect that really warrants their use at all. Maybe I'm just using them wrong, but... To use it, equip it to your camera obscura and press square when you have enough spirit power. Switch. You got the switch upgrade. This allows you to equip and take pictures with different lenses. So what that means is that we can equip 3 lenses at a time and freely switch between them. You can now use the camera obscura. Can we select film? What did it say? Type 14 film is something, but 7 is unlimited. Really wish it didn't go past the information that fast. So left and right is between films. Right now we have 66 Type 14 films, and shit. Where? Ah! Camera Obscura must have been carried here by the current. This means Hisoka is on the mountain too. But I should focus on finding Fuyuhi first. She can't have gone far. What I was about to say is that in the bottom left corner you can see the lenses that I have, and I only have one right now. And as you also saw, you get points for defeating the ghosts and how you defeat them. And one thing I really liked about the fourth game, and that I look forward to in the remaster again, is that you got awarded in many different ways in that game. It's hard to explain, but you got all kinds of bonuses in that game. Woman on a cliff. Someone had a bad day. 'Cause you had a bad day. Sorry. I can't see to the bottom. Nobody could survive a drop from this height. I mean, we know that's the case because she became a ghost, so obviously she did die from the fall, but it's such a cliche in movies when people go like, no one could have survived that, because then you know they did. From here you can see the whole area below the waterfall. There is the shrine road wiped out by the landslide, and the path that leads up here. Was I supposed to push something else so that I could photograph that ghost, or was she just supposed to be a scare factor? Is there something here? No. Moving on then. Between the rocks I can see the stone lanterns by the pool. It looks like it's deserted. There's a fork in the road. The plants here are slightly different than the ones below the pool. I must be close to the Unfathomable forest. A tall fence blocks the path. Beyond is an expanse of forest. There doesn't appear to be any way around. Type 14 film. Old film. It is not effective at exorcising ghosts, and it takes a long time to load. We already heard that. Something down here. Fuyuhi entering the forest. Fuyuhi's Note 1. There is a torn note lying on the ground. It looks like Fuyuhi Himinos. I looked into Mount Hikami. It's always been a spiritual place. Not spiritual as in holy, but spiritual as in filled with the spirits of the dead. Maybe that's why it's a suicide spot? Haruka wouldn't go to die alone though. Not without telling me. I read how it calls to people who are perceptive, anxious, meek, and who lack family. My heart skipped a beat when I read that. It was describing Haruka perfectly. She is so kind and accepting. She always opens up to me. She's alert, even when she seems to be spacing out. She knows what I'm thinking. Maybe she was spirited away. But where do people go when they are spirited away? The more I think about it, the scarier it gets, and the more my heart starts pounding. Did her dress just glitch? Never trust a game being re-released on a platform it wasn't meant for. And now we reach a big open part of the forest where I am gonna do a bit of running because I wanna find all of the items that I can so that I get the best score possible. But I'll try not to drag it out too much. Fuyuhi heading inside. There was someone by the shrine on the other side of the river. Was it Fuyuhi? There's an old signpost here, but it's so caked in moss that I can't read what it says. Ah! What's up, asshole? Oh, come on. Oh, you're not done yet? I can keep going. Fatal glance. This is a mechanic I don't know if the game will okay, what was that? I don't know if the game will tell you about it later, but again, since I knew about it, Fuyuhi has, apart from that whole shadow glance thing where, you know, where you can see which way you are supposed to go, you can also touch the ghosts right before they disappear after you have beaten them, which will sometimes reward you with a cutscene that shows how they met their end. And for all the boneheaded things and mechanic designs this game does, in my opinion, this is That was a really weird way to phrase it. For all the boneheaded decisions this game makes, this is a mechanic I really like, where you because that guy wasn't. I mean, who is he? Who was he? Who cares? He's not part of the main story, but it still gives some some lore, some background content, because he died at the mountain, and the mountain is after all an important part of the story. So to see how he died at the mountain gives us more backstory to the mountain, if you catch my drift. So this thing about being rewarded with seeing how, I mean, it's not like this is the first game to do it at all. I mean, other Project Zero games have also shown us how each individual ghost met their end, but this is the first game, to my recollection at least, that does it in this way, where you touch the ghost in order to get their backstory. Hold R2 and move L to follow the trace. Yeah, I know. But I also know this forest like the back of my hand. Fuyuhi looking up a tree. Fuyuhi's trace ends here. I suppose it does. So the trace doesn't always show you everything from A to Z. Fuyuhi's note 2. There's a note lying among the dead leaves. It looks like Fuyuhi Himinos. I don't know what to do now that Haruka has gone missing. I can't do anything on my own. It's like I can't breathe. Is that her hair wiggling? I can't do anything on my own. It's like I can't breathe. We've been close since we were children. Now she's gone. I realize how important she is to me. How irreplaceable. I can't stop thinking I could have done something when she left that day. Maybe if I'd said something, I could have stopped her from going. The waiting is unbearable. I should have been the one to disappear. It should be me. If Haruka comes back, there's so much I want to tell her. I should tell her how I really feel before we end things together. Maybe she's already known for a long time, but I'll tell her anyway. I have to tell her. Fuyuhi has been here. I can use this note to pick her trace again. See, that's the thing. I can't really tell if that was a glitch or if because they are ghosts. Hey there. I mean, apart from the fact that this is the third time I have restarted this stream because Twitch has been a bitch to me tonight, it's going pretty alright, thanks. How about you? Fighting ghosts in the woods is so not ideal. Come on. Is Overwatch 2 out already? I mean, I've heard about it, but I've not really been keeping up to date with its actual release date. Huh. No cutscene from her. Only multiplayer. Wasn't Overwatch already always a multiplayer game, or does it also have a single player component? Hold down R2 and move to follow the trail. I know! Can you see what I mean about this game being handholdy? I know. Have you ever heard about letting the player explore? Type 61 film. Ah, I see. So will Overwatch 2 be the first to have a single player part? New film in good condition. It is effective at exorcising ghosts. Yes, but we are not gonna use it because we are gonna use it. Did you hear what I just said? We're not gonna use it, but we are gonna use it. What the multiple? Ah, okay. Well, might check it out. I mean, I'm not really, I'm not a big multiplayer guy or shooter guy in that, for that matter. Aside from Splatoon is one of my it's one of my exceptions, but I may check it out. Yeah, I may check it out. I don't think I'll check it out this month though, because I have promised myself to focus on horror games more or less exclusively. But I'll take a note. You can't hold any more of these. Right. We have 90, and I believe that picking up one is... wait, how much did it say? 24. So if we were to max out our 14 film, a new capture card. Oh, I am still, because I haven't set it up, I'm still streaming via my PlayStation for convenience sake when it's a PlayStation game, because it's super easy, barely an inconvenience. But I have indeed gotten an Elgato that is currently set up to my Switch for when I feel like streaming with that. So I have gotten a capture card, yes. I just right now I only use it for consoles that don't have a built-in streaming functionality. Note from a tent. A scrap from a notebook. It looks like it fell from the sleeping bag poking out of the tent. How long have I been here? I suppose it doesn't matter. I'm glad I decided to do things right and come here to die. This place feels right. I thought I might get lonely, but there are people here, people who aren't alive. This place may be as strange as people say. I've heard children playing just now. I tried to get a look at them, but they ran off before I could get close. Did they come here on their own? Or were they left here? Earlier I heard the sound of raspy breathing and running. After that, I heard a scream. I was scared and held my breath. I'm not scared of death, but that was terrifying. Yeah, I see. There are some things that are inconvenient when streaming directly from the PlayStation. I tried to because this is the deluxe version of the game. I tried to show off the digital art book on stream, but for some reason the system wouldn't allow me. And if I had streamed via an Elgato, that wouldn't have been an issue because Elgato doesn't give a shit about blocked scenes. So that's something I would avoid if I used Elgato for everything. I saw a woman dressed in white today. She was wrapped in cloth, so I couldn't see her face. She seemed to stare at me for a while, then left. Which side is she on, I wonder? Will she be back? I saw her again. She turns up every day watching me. I feel her gaze, but not her presence. As soon as I notice her, she disappears. She must be constantly watching me. I heard a voice, a mournful voice, like screaming. No, like singing. It was a call of some kind, but not for me, not yet. My time is yet to come. Everything I brought with me is gone. Now I have nothing. But, I mean, not to say that that's the reason, but wasn't Bioshock on PlayStation kinda buggy in the first place? I like it here. Nothing matters now. This was the right choice. I'm glad I came. She'll come soon. She'll take me away. She's calling. I must go. Well, can't say, don't know, but then again, I also had trouble streaming today, and not to jinx it, but right now everything is working fine, so maybe sometimes you just get unlucky. Am I going back? No, I'm not. One herbal medicine. And one sacred water. Clean water used for purification restores your health completely. Oh, that's fine. Sleep tight. I have work tomorrow too, but I always go late to bed anyway. So I'll be up for a while. But thank you for tuning in. Do you play these kind of games? Small Jesus statues have been arranged around the air hole. So you're also a horror nut? I love horror games, especially the Project Zero series, so I was so ecstatic when the fourth game was announced recently. Not to hold you, sorry, I was just asking. Sleep tight, and thanks for watching. Small Jesus statues have been arranged around the air hole. This must have been a place of some significance. No? Have you played other horror series? Wind echoes from the hole in the rocks. It's blowing up from underground. The low howl of the wind sounds almost like somebody's voice. I mean, I go way back with this series, like I have talked about on previous sessions. I love for one thing, I love the Japanese theme of these games. I love Japanese horror, and I love the creep factor of these games. in my opinion, the Project Zero series has something that makes it completely unique compared to other horror franchises. I see. Well, Project Zero wasn't ever really a mainstream series. And I mean, I have played some of those games you mentioned, so it's not like I only play obscure games that no one knows about, but you know, I've always been a fan of the more obscure titles. Ah! Stay away. Yeah, you get... The fuck? Did he get me? But I attacked him. There we go. Eat my camera, shithead. Peekaboo. Was there something you wanted? I have to find Fuyuhi. That you do. That you do. Rocks have blocked the road to the shrine. Yeah, see you. Thanks for watching. Have a nice workday tomorrow. I hope I will. Maybe there is some other way through. And again, I know I could just hold down the cheat button and have the game guide me, except that for some reason the shadow doesn't appear right now, but again, what's the fun in that? Right now, for your guys' sake, I'm exploring like I don't know my way around. Type 90 film. With film with a symbol of purification, it is very effective at exorcising ghosts and loads quickly. I'm sure it does. Several large rocks have been set up here. It almost looks like a graveyard. I would really love to, I mean, I would love to go to Japan in the first place, but I would love to explore their forests and visit their shrines and stuff like that. Come on, crouch, thank you. Not crutch, but crouch. Again, not to jinx myself, but the ghost hands have been very hospitable. I have to find Fuyuhi. Indeed you do. I swear her dress glitches out whenever she crouches. Now we're back at the lake, and there was something that shimmered over there. Isn't there... I can see the front shrine across the river. The bridge downstream must be the shrine road. Upstream there's a walkway across the river. The main shrine must be deeper in the forests. I could have sworn there... Maybe it's not here. There was one item up here that... wasn't it? Yeah. One item I didn't get. Now I have been all the way around, so now I have no issue running. Can't hold any more of these. Okay, that one was at 12, so if I... Ah! Okay, that got me. That honest to God got me. Oh, bloody hell. There was a place... Oh, that wasn't somewhere we hadn't explored. That was... Or was it? Ah, right, that's the other path we could have taken. This brings us back here. But what about this path? I want to explore everything before I move on. Ah, another note. Heaven forbid if we missed that. Crumpled note. There's a slip of crumpled paper on the ground. Something seems to be written on it. The tales I read about Mount Hikami were true. I can't handle any more death. I've seen that girl hang herself over and over. I've had enough. When I try to run, I wind up back here. I found myself mimicking her. My body moved on its own, just like that girl. I felt I was doing the right thing. As I hung there, my final thought was that death takes a long time to come. I watched the sunset. When I awoke, I was back here. I should already be dead. Will I be forced to see that sunset again? To go through it all again? I'm fading. Bit by bit. I must go. I must go. My planet needs me. Sorry, couldn't help it. Okay, now we've explored enough. So says the map. Swept away Maiden. I wouldn't go into that water. Not if my life depended on it. Fuyuhi in front of the shrine. Is it just me or was there something over here? Maybe I missed it. And now we could follow Fuyuhi into the shrine first, but we have a whole nother part of the forest to explore first. There's a path along the riverbank. I think it'll let me get down to the water. Take me down to the riverbank. Take me down to the fighting end. Wash the sorrow from off my skin. Show me how to be whole again. I didn't promise I wouldn't sing on stream. But I never claimed my singing voice was good. Okay. Where from? it's a triple threat, is it? I try to avoid defeating the ghosts when they're out of range so that I can snap those extra touch points and maybe get a cutscene, but sometimes I just can't help it. Honest to God though, as much as I love the dark, I don't think I would dare venture into a forest like this in real life. Another note. Ah! Oh, come on! That was so glitchy it wasn't even funny. Sunken note. A tattered note is floating at the edge of the marsh. It looks recent. Watching the sunset makes me want to cry. I have no home to go back to. Nobody would be there if I went back. Everyone would be there, yet no one would. I know that now. That's why I came to the mountain. My grandma used to tell me never to go to the mountain at sunset, but my feet led me here. I chased the sun and it kept getting bigger. I couldn't stop. I felt the need to write something, so I'm scribbling this down. I had to go into the water. I had to write this first. I had to write something. What else should I write? She's calling to me. I have to go before the sun sets. Many of these suicide notes have mentioned someone, a female specifically, calling to them. What exactly are they referring to? Or who? Deteriorating note. A faded note found amidst the underbrush. This place will do. No one will find me here. This'll be a place just for me. I can melt away, bit by bit. I'll be like water, seeping into the ground. I won't be myself anymore. I'll be one with nature. Was I dreaming just now? A woman dressed in white was looking down at me. She looked like one of those shrine maidens I've heard about. I didn't have the strength to move, but she kept on watching me. She seemed harmless. I came here because I don't like people looking at me. They're always looking down on me. But being watched but being watched in my final moments felt strangely relieving. I'm glad I came here. You know, this is the first the first time a Project Zero game has focused on, you know, a forest being the setting. I mean, sure, you had bits and pieces of foresty areas in previous games, but I mean, whoever suggested and by extension, this is also the first game to be set more outside than inside. I mean, we do go into mansions and shrines and stuff like that, but no other game in the series up till now has had so much focus on the outdoors. So I mean, kudos to whoever on the team suggested that a dark forest should be the next setting. I can see a lit lantern across the water. The road to the shrine must be in that direction. I know in what direction it is. We are exploring. The water of the marsh is clear, and I can see several old trees that have sunk to the bottom. See, much of this flavor text, despite how many times I have played this game, I've never really, found all of these. But then again, most times I have replayed the game, it has been to speedrun in order to get a better score, so I haven't really, I guess, taken the time to... Or... Was that light over there, which suddenly disappears, is that a glitch too? Wouldn't surprise me, honestly. I don't have the best record with or track record with remasters. Apparent suicide note. There is a slip of paper on the ground. It looks like something's written on it. I like it here. I can die alone here. There's no one to stop me. I can take things slowly. A peaceful, dignified death. Life is nothing but misery and suffering. I'm sick of it. And I don't know what it is, but hear that? That like someone hammering. I have circulated this area for several minutes on previous playthroughs, and I can never find the source for this sound. And Project Zero veterans will recognize this sound as the sound of little shrine maidens knocking on nails. And there are kids in this game, but there are no, to my recollection, there are no child shrine maidens, or at least there are no child shrine maidens with nails. That was an enemy exclusive to Project 03. So I don't know if hearing shrine maidens with hammer and nails is just an Easter egg for standing in this specific location and having a good ear, or if it has some significance. can see the shrine through the trees. It doesn't look like I can get any closer from here. Huh. Straw dolls have been nailed to the thick tree. Ah, so that's what the sound was. Someone has been nailing these straw dolls to the tree. Still kinda, I mean, creepy is a given, but nowhere else in the game does something like this occur, so why? Can you see her by any chance? Nah, doesn't seem like it. And we're back on this road. Hey there, personal space dude. Come on. I also think because of the whole water theme, I think this is the only game that has this, you know, when they fade away, it has this watery effect to it. And I believe we have been the whole way around aside from there and there. Let me just do that real quick. Mirror stone. A black stone that emits a mysterious light. If you run out of health, it will protect you. Wait, we took it? I thought you could only have one at a time. And I don't think I want to fall down there. Okay. And then if we go back this way and then that way. Yep, sounds like a plan. Kinda feel like the screen troll Hugo in the in the minecart minigame where you constantly have to choose between left and right. This way. Okay, now we are ready to pursue our friend. Or our client, rather. Wait. Did I see something emit a light? Or was that my imagination? And you know what the stupid thing is, and which is very poorly thought out from my part, is that we have to explore the forest anyway for story purposes, so me exploring it now was kinda just to, you know, to explore the map. Countless dolls are lined up around the shrine. Maybe the shrine used dolls in its ceremonies. They look like they've been out here for quite some time, exposed to the elements. Fuyuhi examining a door. The countless dolls smile vacantly. The door is shut. It doesn't look like Fuyuhi went into the shrine. Fuyuhi Note 3. There's a page from a notebook on the ground. It looks like Fuyuhi's handwriting. Haruka... Excuse me. Haruka and I have been close since kindergarten. We sang a song together at graduation. It was called The Song of Memories. Haruka and I looked at each other when we sang together. I'll never forget that. I think about those times a lot lately. They were the best. If I even hum that tune, I start to tear up. Obligatory child fight, because you always have to fight ghost children at some point in these games. Girl watching from behind. Boy watching from behind. And another girl watching from behind. Maybe I don't have to fight them right now. Oh, right now it wants me this way. Got her. Damn. Pushed a woman? Someone pushed her? How horrible. And I actually don't think I've ever gotten that ghost before, because, I mean, I know about her, and every time I hear her, I stand and try to take a picture while she's falling. But because, you know, when these blink or miss it situations happen, I kinda, you know, panic and push the camera button and try to take a picture. So getting a picture of her on the ground was kinda more of a knee-jerk reaction of me, like, oh, I have to quickly take her picture. Pushed woman. Damn. And there is our subject.
Fuyuhi! Fuyuhi!
Haruka. She's here on the mountain.
Have you seen her?
No, but she's here. I have to find her.
A group suicide.
I wonder. Why did the two of us survive? We made a promise that we'd all die together. When will we get the chance to join the others?
I mean, you could jump back out. All jokes aside, though, horrible.
Hey, I'll go and look for Haruka. Let's go back.
She's completely out of it. And now it wants us all the way back there.
To die alone in a place like this.
Damn. Are you with?
This way. There's something over here. Fuyuhi!
How did she pass me? Or rather, when did she pass me? Ah, that's the white-haired girl.
Be quiet, guys. I'm supposed to be dead.
You know, those ghost children actually gave me way better behavior than they normally do. But then again, I suppose it's because I caught them in a stun lock. Because, I mean, normally there are 3 of them and they run around every which way, and it's a bitch trying to get them all within frame and stuff like that. But this time I was lucky enough to, because I took a picture of one of them which released a couple of spirit fragments, and because there are 3 ghosts plus the 2 spirit fragments meant that I could use a shutter chance, and apparently I had enough time every time I pushed them back. I had enough time to for the camera to recover so that I could yeah, you saw what happened, so that I could stun lock them again and again and again. Fuyuhi, are you sleepwalking again?
Fuyuhi! Haruka, she's here.
She's here. She's here. You've watched too much Poltergeist. Classic movie, by the way. The sequels unfortunately suck ass, but first one is great. I mean, it ain't scary, but it's a classic. There's something on the riverbank. Take me down to the riverbank. I know, I was on my way to pick it up, thank you very much. Looks like dear old Hisoka met with a terrible fate.
Fuyuhi, where are you?
And now it has started to rain. Oh, this was Hisoka's favorite. Hisoka's charm. It must have been carried here by the river, just like the camera obscura. You got the evade upgrade. This allows you to detect threats capable of being dodged. Ah, right. And this is another completely broken mechanic in this game, and a mechanic that, I mean, I believe I don't remember in which game they started making so that you could evade, but this game makes it absolutely laughable and makes it so that as long as you spam the evade button at the slightest sign of danger, you are not getting hit. Very rarely, at least. Fuyuhi isn't here. I have to find her. So if we go into camera, here we have our lenses, and here we have our upgrades. And as you can see, in use, we can have multiple upgrades in use at once. We can also shut them down. Equipment upgrade that allows you to equip and take pictures with different lenses. An equipment upgrade that allows you to detect threats capable of being dodged. Right. Look how fast she gets wet. I mean, realistically you do get wet that quickly. And now the flower has fully bloomed. Someone has skipped on choir. Oh god, where did she get that knife? X is Dutch. See? Of course, it's the knife I have to focus on. Ah, damn it. How many times did you find me? If you touch your weakened ghost, it triggers a fatal glance and you'll see its memories.
Haruka.
So now it teaches us about fatal glances.
Fuyuhi.
So let's see how she died.
Fuyuhi.
So she just happened to find a knife in the water. Blood is clearly visible against the grey background. Really dang graphic at times. Again, especially with these flashbacks that are in grayscale, and then you have the blood which is red and really stands out.
You've seen too much.
You think?
You let me blood. It will dissolve into nothing.
Tainted. Ghost attacks may leave you tainted by the black water. If this happens, your health will continuously decrease. Use purifying embers or defeat all present ghosts to remove it. No, you won't. I mean, what soul? That Shrine Maiden. She's the one that brought Fuyuhi here. The one who made her. The one who made her. I also usually don't have this much luck with that particular Shrine Maiden. I mean, maybe I'm just misremembering. Maybe it's in a later chapter, but she always does this move where she raises her hand and says something like, "Your soul shall be something." And then if you don't fatal frame her at just the right time, then she will taint you. I mean, there is a reason that the tutorial about tainted popped up, because I think she usually does it. I don't know why she gave me such good behavior. Regardless, it's too dangerous. I can't stay here. I'll have to go back for now. Oh, we're here. Check it again. The rush of water disappears into the darkness. with what she has seen today, that's enough to drive anyone insane. I would run for the hills as well, sweetheart. While searching for her friend, Fuyuhi Himino ended up taking her own life. Having witnessed Fuyuhi's final moments, Yuri knows she wasn't alone when she died. What of that other woman who killed herself in the same way? Not to mention the mysterious shrine maiden sudden from the rain. Yuri managed to locate Hisoka's camera obscura, along with a charm she always liked to wear. For now, she must return to the antique shop alone. And we got an S. Not an S plus for some reason, but we got an S. I know it has nothing to do with the clear time. So, I don't know. Maybe there are some things I didn't pick up. Maybe there are some... Maybe if I had fought more ghosts, because... I don't know if it's completely random, but... For example, those two ghosts that attacked me while I was escorting Fuyuhi back... sometimes you walk on a stretch of road and then randomly get attacked by ghosts. So maybe if I had been more thorough and fought all of the ghosts I possibly could, maybe that would have been enough. But for now, I'm content with this. Processing and saving. Okay. Third drop, Ren Hojo. Search for information. And see, this is the dumb part again, because right now we have episode 11%, ghost list 12%, archive 10, and then the total points. And remember when I said that, or maybe you don't, because maybe the stream cut out at that point, but there was a costume, I think it was Punk Ensemble, that we had to pay 10,000 points for, and that at the time we only had 18,000. Remember how easily I said it was to get points? We now have 152. Should we unlock it just for shits and giggles? Sure. Pumpkin Symbol is now available for Yuri. Awesome. Real biker chick. But see, here we have it again. I mean, I guess you could always go close to the screen, but you can't get a good look at the entire costume, because you have the full portrait look here. I mean, looks great, looks sexy, looks cool. And then if you go closer, you zoom all the way up to her face with no way of panning the camera down to look at the rest of the costume. Then again, I guess they didn't mean for it to be... I mean, you equip a costume and you play the game with the character. Maybe they didn't think that far. Cutesy Goth Ensemble, and how much does that cost? That's 10,000 as well. Like that one as well. Swimsuit blue. Why not, now that we are at it? looks more white to me, unless you mean the... Ah, I see the blue. Because you know, as is obligatory for these Japanese games, we gotta have the, you know, both the cute and sexy costumes and the swimsuit costumes. And I do know that there are I think there are games in the series that are more revealing than this, where instead of a swimsuit covered with a white shirt, it's full on bikini. I really do like this one. I really like this one. Gotta wonder what the question mark is though. And I even more gotta wonder, because here we have Rei from the third game, Mio from the second game, and I know that these two are Miku's costumes from the first game. Why are they questioned out? I don't get that. No, but what I was about to say is that you can't view the cutscenes from this menu. You have to enter the game by picking a chapter, and then you can look at your files and the cutscenes and stuff like that. And I hate that. Now I have been streaming for 2 hours, and I don't remember how long Ren's first chapter is. I don't think it's any longer than an hour. Let's just drop. Then that'll be 2 chapters yesterday and 2 chapters today. Ren Hojo, the author who sent Hisoka to find the photographs, takes a closer look at the album. One photo catches his eye, and he decides to investigate further. He goes to the inn with a camera obscura and Rui, his assistant. Third drop, postmortem photography, Ren Hojo. Ren Hojo, a writer, is haunted by a recurring dream in which he kills a young girl during a ritual. He receives an album of postmortem photographs located on his request by Hisoka. Upon viewing one of the photos, Ren recognizes the very scene from his dreams. Eager to delve further into this puzzling mystery, Ren heads to the abandoned inn in person this time, bringing along his assistant, Rui Kagamiya.
Will you die with me?
She's beautiful, but she looks sad too.
Yeah.
Isn't she the type of woman that you get nervous around?
Yeah.
Way to be straightforward.
There may be more of this stuff out there.
Shall I call Hisoka?
No, let's go there ourselves. It'll be quicker that way.
At this hour?
It won't take long.
And for the
So,
record, she is a
didn't take
girl,
the camera obscura?
in case it
You
wasn't
haven't used
obvious.
it yet. This could be your chance. People say there's something off about that place.
Okay.
And like I said, and as you can see for yourselves, Ren has a camera obscura too, and his looks much different than Yuri's. Also has it also has its own special properties. My camera obscura is on the desk. Hisoka sent it back after appraising it for me. I should take that shadow reading report with me too. It may come in handy. Rui's always complaining about me leaving things on the sofa. There's an antique-looking camera on the desk. You got Ren's camera obscura. You got the measure upgrade. This displays the current health of a locked-on enemy. You know, I could really use that with Yuri. Unfinished manuscript. There's an unfinished manuscript on the desk. It doesn't yet have a title. I'll need more materials to solidify the theme. Memorial portraiture, the act of photographing dead bodies, was a practice in Western countries in the 19th century, a time when photography was still a rare and expensive luxury. The bodies of recently deceased family members and loved ones were photographed in lifelike poses as a solemn keepsake of remembrance. While researching the phenomenon, I discovered that a similar custom made its way to Japan as well. Known as postmortem photographs, a small number of these photos still remain. I have been fortunate enough to obtain one such photograph, which I found to contain a certain beauty lacking in its Western counterparts. When photography first arrived in Japan, it was accompanied by the prevalent superstition that photographs could steal a person's soul. Whether anyone truly believed this or not, it surely gave postmortem photography a special significance in Japan. If photos were taken with this belief in mind, then postmortem photographs would not simply have been taken as keepsakes or for mourning purposes. Rather, the practice may have carried a certain deeper spiritual significance. Hisoka's letter. It's a reply to the appraisal request for this camera obscura. It urges caution in using it. To Ren Hojo, the camera you left me to look at is a device known as a camera obscura. Its purpose is to capture images of the supernatural, things invisible to the naked eye. These cameras are incredibly rare with an almost mythical status in the antiques market. A few have been known to exist, but this is the first I've ever seen with compound lenses. I don't mean to frighten you, but rumor holds that to own a camera obscura is to invite misfortune. They say everyone who has owned one has either died, lost their mind, or gone missing. The cameras themselves have outlived many owners. While some aficionados do seek them out, The stories of previous owners meeting with such misfortune has had an impact on their value as antiques. My camera obscura was left to a local family after its previous owner passed away. They graciously gave it to me. Stories of previous owners meeting with such. I believe yours is still usable, but please do exercise caution in doing so. Sincerely, Hisoka Kurosawa. P.S. The cover on your camera obscura is broken, but it seems it originally had a box shape. I doubt you'd sell it to me, but I would like to borrow it for a while if you don't mind. I'm happy to compensate. Please think it over. I left the shadow reading report on the sofa. I should take it with me just in case. Is that a girl and a dog? It may have some information that I could use. Who knows when I might need it. Yuri's report. This looks like a report written by Yuri. It seems to be about the photo album. Found item report. Client Renhojo. Report by Yuri Kusakata. Verified by Hisoka Kurosawa. Details of requests. Find items pertaining to postmortem photography on Mount Hikami. Obtain them if possible. Performed shadow reading using a postmortem photograph found on Mount Hikami as a token. Located album of postmortem photographs in Ichiru Manor. Took custody of the object. Where did I put that book about Mount Hikami? Has Rui been tidying up again? It might be on one of the shelves. The Maiden's Lair. I came across this book while researching Mount Hikami. I don't think this story has anything to do with what's going on now, but you never know. The Maiden's Lair. Mount Hikami has long been steeped in legends revolving around suicide and ghosts. Revered as a sacred place since time immemorial, it was once the worshipping ground and home of many shrine maidens. Once there was a man who fell in love with a maiden and came to the mountain in order to court her. However, she remained loyal to her duties and refused his advances. Enraged, the man killed her and drew her into the river. Several days later he returned with a torch and blade and proceeded to brutally butcher all the shrine maidens on the mountain, tossing them into the river as he went. The waters of the mountain flowed red with blood, carrying the slaughtered corpses of the maidens all the way down to the pool of purification. It is said that the eyes of each of the shrine maidens had been gouged out. Just before killing the first maiden and tossing her into the river, the man's eyes met with those of his victim. Something in her eyes led him to murder the others, or so the legend goes. With all the maidens dead, he killed himself by cutting his own throat. The ghosts of shrine maidens still drenched in those bloodied waters have appeared on the mountain ever since. It is said that those who meet their eyes are led to their deaths. They follow the women into the water and drown themselves. Though only a legend, the story is believed to be based on an actual incident. Local records show that the bodies of several shrine maidens were discovered long ago, and that all rituals and rites ceased to be performed from that day on. Rui's Journal 1. This looks like part of Rui's journal. It must have gotten mixed in here while tidying. I feel bad reading it, but Mr. Hojo can't clean up after himself. For someone who's lived alone for so long, he's incapable of housework. He can't cook and he is bad at tidying up. I'm more like his caretaker than his assistant. He loses things all the time, and whenever he doesn't have a book he needs, he blows up. He usually ends up asking Miss Kurosawa for help. One time when I was trying to sort all his books, there was one I couldn't find anywhere. It's like it just disappeared. Miss Kurosawa found it with her shadow reading. She went into his room on her own, then came back out a little while later with the missing book. She just smiled and said something about making the invisible visible. What is this shadow reading business anyway? That reminds me of that one time. I was tidying up and I came across something I'd never seen before. It was like Miss Kurosawa said, the invisible became visible. It was kept inside an old box. I don't even know what it was. I put it aside to sort out later on, but when I went to take a proper look, it had vanished. It must have gone invisible again.
It's almost sunset. We should hurry.
Yeah, let's go.
There's a local superstition warning people not to go up Mount Hikami after dusk. If you climb the mountain in the twilight hours, it'll show you a different form. Its true form. Only those who wish to die come here at that time. I think that's the inn where the album was found. This must be Ichiru Manor. So, do you think you'll be able to use the camera obscura? I think you should try it out first, just to be sure.
Okay.
Tutorial. Rent camera obscura. This type of camera obscura allows you to take multiple photos at once. Use the multi-shot function to take 4 photos at once, dealing more damage to the ghosts that you photograph. Taking multiple photos at once also helps to get fatal shots. After a multi-shot, the camera obscura will take longer than usual to reload the film. Keep in mind that multi-shots quickly use up a lot of film. Also, standard camera obscura lenses do not work with Ren's camera obscura. Nah, I'm good.
Is the camera working?
Well, you look like you, so yeah.
Is that a good thing?
We should go.
Can we go this way?
I hear the older part of this inn, the part that's further back inside, it was part of some temple or shrine. After it became an inn, the proprietor's family lived here, but it doesn't look like anyone's been here. There was a massive landslide that hit Mount Hikami. Maybe they were all buried under the rubble. Hey, it looks like the album you asked for was found in the old building.
Yeah, sure looks that way.
Hisoka was investigating the inn. I should head straight there. What kind of running is that? Something I could check here. An old 3-story inn stands in silence. The landslide raced down the mountain and through the inn, dumping all it picked up into the pond. camera is reacting to something. The camera has the power to photograph the invisible. I wonder if this is the same as the power Hisoka uses for her shadow reading. Drowned woman. There's a heap of scrap wood at the end of the hallway. The water must have washed it all down here. There's a big hole in the wall leading to the pond. The water's even deeper close to the hole. I shouldn't get too close. The hatch on the dock has shut itself. It must have been the wind. Right. The wind. Woman in the shadows. Man in the shadows. I don't think I've ever seen that one before. I mean, at least not here.
It should be around here.
Damn it.
This must be the room where Hisoka found that album.
Yeah, it seems so.
Man shrouded in darkness. Camera is reacting to something. Maybe I can see something through the viewfinder. Yeah, maybe you can. A crumpled old note has materialized. This must be what the camera was reacting to. Messy note one. There's a note lying on the shelf. Maybe it belonged to someone who lived here. How long has it been since I lost everything? The mountain swallowed up half my inn. All I have left is that old album of postmortem photographs, the one left by my father. I don't even know who these photos are of, but it's the last vestige of family I have. How long have I spent here, wallowing in the darkness? It doesn't matter. I'll burn it all, and then there'll only be me. I think I'll end up in the observation room on the roof. The sunset is lovely up there. Camera is reacting to the note. Using this note as a token, I might find a trace that will lead me to some info about that photograph. Sometimes it helps to, to discover those hidden ghosts. It warrants searching the same places that you have already checked.
According to the stories, after the landslide, the owner of the inn moved to the 3rd floor. They say he burned himself to death there, or that he threw himself into the lake.
A common enough story.
Tell me about it.
I can't see anything outside the thick frosted glass window. Perhaps the landslide buried the building even up to this floor.
They say that if you look up at the 3rd floor veranda, you'll see someone looking back down.
Really?
I'm sorry.
Isn't this what you're in the business for, Ren? The heavy concrete ceiling has collapsed, blocking the stairs to the 3rd floor. I'm not sure what things will be like further up. I can see the water on the 1st floor through gaps in the floor. I don't think I can get through here. I mean, you could jump, but I wouldn't advise that in a building that old. The floor might collapse upon impact. There are big holes in the floor and walls. I can see the water down on the 1st floor. I can see the 1st floor through the big hole in the middle of the room. I think I'm directly above the room I first came in through. There's something on the floor below. Man hanged by the neck. I've definitely never seen that before. Well, let's go down and... The ceiling has collapsed, blocking the hallway. I don't think I can get back to the stairway without cutting through the rooms. This better be good. Type 90 film. And you know what that means? Those are extra points going towards my score. It's locked. I can't open it. The camera is reacting to the door. Ah, the hatch. So I did have to go back there anyway. There's something in the photo. The photograph shows the duct with its hatch open. This photo might be showing me the location of the key to this door. Man hanged in a hole. Messy note 2. There's a soiled notebook here. Like the one found in the old building, it looks like it belonged to the innkeeper. Even before the landslide, there were always strange goings-on around here. Some years ago, 2 girls went missing on a college field trip. The police were stumped. A few days later, one of the girls turned up again, seemingly out of her mind. There were lots of theories, but most people believed they were simply spirited away. That girl came back each year to look for her friend, like some sort of pilgrimage. Countless people have gone missing here over the years. We are all used to it by now. My father was spirited away too, as was the folklorist Keiji Watarai. Next it'll be my turn, I bet. I'll vanish with the rest of them. I doubt anyone will think to come looking for me. I can't get the hatch to the duct open. It's being held shut by a powerful force. The camera is reacting to it. Tutorial sync shots. Taking photos identical to the psychic photographs taken with the camera obscura can break seals blocking your access. The hatch to the duct is now open. There's something in there among the pipes. key and yellow keychain. And again, it shows us where to use the goddamn key. And of course he died right out of my field of view. Is there something down here? Again, I mean. Nah. Never mind. Whoa. Ah, damn. It's because I sometimes forget what button to push to. Sometimes I forget to push the trigger button instead of the X button. Okay, he just disappears. The ghost left something behind when it disappeared. Messy note 3. A soiled note has been left here. It looks like it was left by the innkeeper. But then again, now you have seen what it looks like when you are tainted. This place has gone from a tourist hotspot to a suicide hotspot. But I suppose that was always the case. This mountain and death go together, side by side. Mikomori was once known as the grove of the Shrine Maidens. The grove? A sacred grove where the mountain's maidens oversaw the deaths of pilgrims, easing their passing to the other side. I like that. I envy it. I wish someone would be there to see me off. Was that the man who wrote this note? Maybe I'll find something upstairs.
Rui, are you alright?
Yes, I'm fine.
And that right there is one of those blink or miss it ghosts where you, I mean, I knew she was coming because I saw the arrow, and I thought I could hear a faint scream, and I mean, I know that Ren has his camera has this multiple photo function that I suppose I could have used, but even then it wasn't a guarantee that I would catch the brief glimpse where you could catch the ghost. And the door is now unlocked. Hello there. Smile for the camera. Woman who was hanging. Woman who was hanging? Excuse me, she still very much was hanging. The stairs leading down a bird under earth. It doesn't look like I can get down this way. Well, let's go up then. Mirror stone. The door won't budge. Something must be blocking it from the inside. There's another door above the stairs on the other side. Man transfixed by a sunset. Suicide note. There's a scrap of notebook paper on the floor. It looks like there is something written on it. The sunset beckons. It's calling me into the water. This is the right thing to do. The window below is shattered. Did that man jump from here? How ironic. So he never actually reached the water. He jumped from the balcony and then he crashed through the window. The window has lost its glass and has been boarded up. I can just about see inside, but I can't make anything out. Thick boards have been nailed to the door. I can't get in this way. I can see into the room through the shattered window. It has been completely burned. There's nothing left. See, sometimes a ghost appears where it gives me a button prompt where the where the character turns around immediately for me to snap a photo. And then other times I have to turn around manually, which sometimes, like this time, causes me to lose the shot. It's so inconsistent. No, can't hold any more of these. Must be locked from the other side. The end of the hallway goes into the mountain and disappears. It once led to the old building, but now there's just trees and earth. The veranda looks down on the whole pond. Mikomori Bridge crosses the pond, leading to the road back to the mountain. Man staring at something. The whole room is charred. That man might have left something behind. If he did, it'll likely be hidden.
Looks like there was a fire. This must be where the innkeeper moved.
The metal window frame is warped from heat and has come loose. There's little glass left. There might be something hidden here. I'd better check using my camera. I know. Calm your tits.
Rui! Rui! What's wrong? Is something there?
Woman in the netherworld.
What were you doing? Can't you remember anything? Let's go home.
You cannot leave the mountain.
Another child.
You again.
It is time to end this. This is the fate that awaits all who come to the mountain.
Must have been the man who killed all the shrine maidens. The man who, once he looked into the shrine maiden's eyes, he too was cursed. A woman dressed like a shrine maiden. Is she connected to the note that I found? Messy note 4. There's a note here. It seems to have been singed a little by fire. The album of postmortem photographs was assembled by a folklorist who lived on the mountain. His name was Keiji Watarai. He became fascinated by the custom and moved to Mount Hikami to study how it spread through Japan. My father seemed to take an interest in these photos as well. Strange foreign customs always fascinated him. While he was running the inn, he helped Watarai collect postmortem photographs from the nearby town. On Mount Hikami, water itself was deified. It seems like Watarai wanted to get a deeper understanding of this unique outlook, so he set up a house in the forest to experience it firsthand. He was greatly aided by my father, who had already set up the inn by that point. He remodeled it from an old, unused shrine. I think he thought the extra religious heft would help attract more visitors. One day the folklorist went missing. Several people formed a search party, but they were unable to find a trace. Even the road to his house seemed to have been lost to the woods. My father scoured the mountain too, but all he found was that photo album. He was soaking wet when he got back. I remember he was acting strangely. His eyes had this curious glint, almost like he'd been possessed by something. The next thing I knew, my father went missing as well. I'd forgotten about the photos until I found them in the old building, after the landslide. But now I understand why my father left. Watarai too. These photos are so beautiful. Keiji Watarai, a folklorist who lived on Mount Hikami. Hisoka probably has some books about him. We should get back, ruin it to rest. The photo album left behind by the innkeeper was put together by a folklorist who lived on Mount Hikami. As Ren and Rui explored the inn and traced the spirit of its owner, a ghost tried to lure Rui to suicide. Then, through the pouring rain, an ominous shrine maiden appeared. Ren and Rui left the mountain with more questions than when they started. And we got an S. Again, honestly don't know how I would have made it into an S+, but I know it's possible. Postmortem photography. Interlude. Shadow reading. Yuri Kosokata. With Hisoka still missing, Yuri recalls what she witnessed on the mountain. Fuyuhi taking her own life while entranced by a malevolent spirit, and the bodies of dead shrine maidens washed up at the pool of purification. These disquieting images leave Yuri with no doubt that Mount Hikami houses some kind of horrifying secret. Yuri takes the camera obscura that she found on the mountain and begins searching for a token that will lead her to Hisoka.
Suicide, huh? There was no body, right? And you said, what was it? Lots of women's bodies washed up afterwards? I think there have been reports saying something like that before. Well, I'll see what I can find out tomorrow.
Okay, so we have an interlude with Yuri. I don't remember how long this interlude is, but I think that this is enough for tonight. Like I told my friend who tuned in a couple hours ago, I have work tomorrow as well. Actually, maybe I should have stopped already after the chapter with Yuri and then have taken Ray's chapter as well as the interlude together tomorrow. Maybe I should have done it in that order, but I don't 100% remember the events of the game and what chapters come after which chapters. So it is what it is. But I think we'll call it a night. We beat 2 chapters, and so tomorrow we'll resume with Yuri's interlude and see what she finds out about the curse on the mountain. So I'll once again thank you all very much for tuning in. I am so glad these past 3 hours have been without a hitch, that whatever was the problem at the beginning of the stream, where the stream straight up cut out after 10 and 20 minutes, I am glad that third time's the charm. I'm glad that it didn't happen again, and I hope it continues not happening again. So yeah, once again, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you are still with me. Hope you are still intrigued by this phenomenal horror game. Although again, compared to previous installments, I do think it holds your hand a bit too much. But it is what it is, I guess. So I'll see you all I'll see you all at the next stream, probably tomorrow. Find someone to raid, and in the meantime, remember, we are all heroes. Winged Vox.